It was fun. It was. Oh, I had a kind of a funny encounter. Yeah, I'm in recovery mode. Exactly. I had a fun encounter with Eric Estrada. Now, for people my age, we all remember Eric Estrada from Chips. He was a sex symbol, and he played a cop, and it was just a very cool show, and all that number. Yeah, exactly. And I was going downstairs, and as a lot of people know, I've got mobility issues, which is why sitting in a booth and talking to people is a great job for me. But I still have mobility issues, and I was going up a flight of stairs, and it wasn't a very long flight of stairs, but it was still a flight of stairs. And when I go up and down stairs, what I have to do is I basically have to stare at my feet and make sure my cane is planted. So I'm not really watching where I'm going other than down the stairs, right? And in the opposite direction, Eric Estrada is just hopping. He's running up the stairs almost because he's in a hurry, and he's mostly paying attention to his phone. So we slam into each other on the staircase. And here we go. And so he catches me before I fall, and he's like, "Hey man, you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Sorry about that. I wasn't really paying attention because when I have to, when I go up and down stairs, I've got to basically pay attention to my feet." And he says, "Yeah, I get that, but you're going to be okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, And he goes, "All right. Well, you have a good show, man. You have a good time. I'll see you around." And I'm like, "Yeah, you too." And I take like 2 steps, and I suddenly turn around, and I'm going, "Oh my God, you're Eric Estrada." And he kind of looks over his shoulder and goes, "Yeah, that's me." And I'm like, "Hey, I was a big fan, loved your show." And he's like, "Yeah, that's cool, thanks." And that was it. That was my encounter with Eric Estrada. Nice guy. Very understanding and very forgiving of a clumsy guy walking with a cane who's going to slam into him on the staircase. Very nice guy. Which is cool. Alright, let's see. What else do I want to do here? I've got lots of money. I got lots of animals built up. I guess I should build the inevitable doll sheep habitat, but I've never worked with doll sheep before. I literally have never put them. I don't even know how I ended up with them in my storage. Huh. Oh, drink of water. Psst. My drink of water just popped back into shape. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I should do doll sheep. I can do koala, I suppose, or one of the bears. What do you guys think? Yeah, exactly. And I had several of those. I ran into Dante Bosco, however he pronounces his last name, who of course was Prince Zuko in Avatar, and he was Rufio in Hook. Really cool dude. Got introduced to Jim Cummings, who's the voice of Winnie the Pooh. I mean, how cool is it that a guy is that's just cool. Yeah, I'm the voice of Winnie the Pooh. Really, that's aces, man. That's amazing. It was a fun show, and the fact that I was working it instead of attending it as a fan means that I had a perspective on it that was different from a lot of other people. Is this a juvenile? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. Okay. So we have 2 adults and a juvenile. How much room do these guys? Are Himalayans? Did the Himalayan brown bears take up a lot of room? Let me see. They probably do. Oh no, really. It's only 550. Probably more if I were to put 3 of them in there. All right. I think what I want to do though is I want to add another habitat. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this real quick. Because what I want actually is to expand this. I'm using 6-meter paths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so path. Who's got the path? You know, and it has there are surreal elements to it because, you know, last night my friend Alexi, who's one of the ones who books these shows, he's like, hey, you're gonna come out with dinner with all of us, and I'm like, yeah, who's all of us? And he says, oh, you know, just a couple people. And it's like, okay, the woman that I'm sitting next to has won 4 Hugo Awards, and she's talking to me like I'm, you know, this great new friend she's just made. And it's like, you know, I'm never gonna see her as this famous person anymore. Yeah, well, it turned out to be nine people, and 3/4 of them were celebrities. There were like 3 of us who were invited along because we put in the work at the show, and of course none of the famous people that we were dealing with treated us in any other way than respectfully. You know, I mean, it was very cool. It was very cool, the fact that they were all nice guys. The celebrities were. Oh geez, look at this. Okay, VIP Ravenscar Gaming. Hey, Ravenscar, if you're watching this, buddy, welcome to the zoo. Raven and I are really good friends. He's a great guy. I really respect his building skills. So let me try this again. But it turned out to be a really nice dinner, and I was talking to one of the writers, and he, you know, I said, you know, I always kind of wanted to be a writer too, and he said, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking in my head, you know, he probably hears that all the time. You know, well, yeah, I wanted to be a writer once. Well, why didn't you? But instead, what he said was, okay, tell me a story. And I kind of fumbled out this story idea that I had a long time ago, and that I never really did anything with. And when I got done, he goes, and get this, he says, that would be a book I'd want to read. And I'm like, what? And he says, yeah, no, that would be a book I want to read. And I'm like, okay, cool. And the woman sitting next to me, who, you know, the one with the 4 Hugo Awards, is like, yeah, me too, that would be a great book. You say you haven't really done anything with it? And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's just kind of sitting, you know, I like started it and then, you know, never finished it, and it's now sitting in the hard drive of my computer, just, you know, kind of there. And she goes, that's such a shame. You should, when you get home, you should dig it out and do something with it. And I didn't really take it seriously, but at the end of the dinner she says, oh, by the way, let me have your phone. And I, kind of confused, I handed her my phone, and she typed in for a minute. She goes, okay, that's my contact information. Here, add yours to mine. And she handed me her phone, and I added mine in, and, you know, and I'm like, oh my god, this is an internationally known fantasy writer who has won awards, right? And she wanted my contact information. And at the end of it, she says, in 3 weeks I'm going to give you a call. You'd better have at least 10,000 words written on this story. because I want you to read it to me. So I've got 3 weeks to write 10,000 words on a story that I haven't worked on since I was probably 30, which was a long time ago. Alright, let's see. What are we going to do? You know what I wish? I wish timber rattlesnakes. I mean, we've got the western diamondback, but timber rattlesnakes are an entirely different species of rattlesnake. And they live in this kind of woodland. Oh yeah, exactly. No pressure. You know, an award-winning author wants to take a look at my writing. On the one hand, I'm like, holy shit, she really wants to. On the other, I'm like, what am I gonna do? But they're really just people, you know? I mean, for all that... you know what? Let's do the forest scorpion. Forest scorpions are cool. Oh, only male. Okay. Do we have any females? Because I'm using the exhibit animals as money. So yeah, exactly. And they welcome me in, and they encourage new writers. One of the writers that was there at the convention, she's literally she's just published her first novel, and all the other writers, the ones that are well established award-winning writers, they were treating this new young lady like she was a veteran, just right next to them, one of their own, and I think that was very cool. Let's try the red-eyed, since there's no males here. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we're going to adopt, send it to the zoo. I think what we're going to do here, normally I would do 2 sides to it. We're going to adopt this one. And it's all because, I'm friends with their publisher. I've known the guy who does their publishing, I've known him for 40 years. Yeah, exactly. But Alexei, who's my buddy, I've known him since we were both 9 years old, and he now does publishing for these authors and publicity for them. And so he's like, I said, did you know that they were going to do this? And he goes, no, but it's not that surprising. It's really not that surprising. And I'm like, but they're treating me like I'm an actual writer. And Alexei goes, Jack, you are an actual writer. You're just not a published writer. And I was like, oh, holy shit. I guess that's true, because I write. In addition to doing video games, I also write, but I haven't ever been successful at getting anything that I've ever written published. And Alexei's like, you write the books, I'll publish them now. The award winner, Jody Lynn Nye. The author that was talking to me, who said that she was going to call me and check up on my writing, was Jody Lynn Nye. And the other guy was Dan Wells. And he writes horror stories. He's really great. Okay. We got an award. Yeah, adopt a second species. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get a third species, and since these are two I'm gonna do frogs, I guess. Tree frogs even. Let's see. What do we like? How about golden poison frogs? Yeah, there we go. Yes, I know the guests think the tickets are underpriced, but I'm doing... Yeah. What is he? Red-eyed tree frog. Why do I have a red-eyed tree frog? Alright. I wanted golden, there we go, golden poison frogs, confirm. There are no golden poison frogs, okay. How about lemons? Alright, well there's nothing but females. Alright, well I'll have to come back. Yeah, Jody does some really great books, and they're easy to read, and they're funny. Alright, let's see. Let's bring this up to 80, I think, and we'll do this to 80 also. We'll see if that fits. That fits. Alright, no. Okay, there we go. I admit, I'll read anything. I really will. Okay, let's fix this since they're gonna bug me about it until I do. All right, let's go to $8. Still not a huge change, but it's enough for them to appreciate it. We need education facilities. Okay. But yeah, it was a fun time. And like I said, I'm exhausted as far as, physically. I didn't really have, I was originally going to play something else, but I didn't have the energy for it. I'm like, nah, that's not chill enough for me. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do some, Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo's nice and chill. Yeah, thanks. That's exactly what I was going for. It really was. That was exactly what I was going for. Because this is supposed to be a zoo in the Pacific Northwest, but it's not supposed to be a huge zoo. It's just to be. It's like a local, small town zoo. And I think they look great. I think they look really good. I love what I've done so far. It's not fancy, but it's exactly what a small town zoo would look like. I mean, we're not talking about a national zoo with a $1 million budget. That, yeah, exactly. If this was one of those zoos that, like the National Zoo in Washington, or some big time place like that, I'd do bigger, fancier things. But this is supposed to be a small town zoo, and I think it works out really well. All right, let's see. Okay, now where did I put the... Here we go. This little box here. I admit I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to designing these things, because I will not stop working on a particular piece until I feel that it is done. And done includes the landscaping around it and things like that. Now I'm trying to be careful, but I am making more money than I'm spending, so I guess I'm doing pretty well. I haven't done a franchise zoo in a long time. Okay, it does have power. That's good. Let me try something. Let me see something here. Frog. Frog, who's got the frog? habitat is a disease risk. It's going to be the llamas again. I'm fairly sure. You know what? No, I'm going to put them down here.